With its exquisite beaches, lush forests, vivid alleyways, rich history, not to mention the semi-ambiguous facial features of its residents, the Philippines is just an open movie set screaming to be used. We're taking a stroll around the country, remembering some of the more buzzed about films that believed in our country's cinematic beauty. For some, the Philippines served as a stand-in for other countries. In others, it's a mere flashback setting, and a few revisit the country's past wars. With its beautiful natural landscapes and exotic charm, the Philippines looks great on the big screen, and it has, in fact, made its way onto international cinemas through various films through the decades. Here are some Hollywood movies that used the archipelago as a backdrop for their storylines. Broke Down Palace. Directed by Jonathan Kaplan, starring Claire Danes, Kate Beckinsale, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Bill Pullman. Location: Pasay City with Coconut Palace and Cotton Club as Pat Pong Bars, and Manila Hotel. Thailand refused to grant the film permission to shoot, so the production ended up creating, instead, a makeshift set in the Philippines. Shortly after filming, however, lead actress Claire Danes mentioned in a Vogue interview that Manila was a ghastly and weird city. Meanwhile, Premiere magazine also quoted her saying that the city smelled of cockroaches with rats all over, and that there is no sewage system and the people do not have anything: no arms, no legs, no eyes. Her controversial statements earned her the ire not just of Filipinos, including half Pinoy co-star Lou Diamond Phillips, but of Oprah, Tom Hanks, and Bruce Willis. The city of Manila has since declared her persona non grata. Amigo, directed by John Sayles. Starring Chris Cooper, Joel Torre, Pen Medina, Rio Locsin, Irma Adlawan, Ronnie Lazaro, Thembel Rocco. Location: Bohol. The shooting lasted for 8 months. Director John Sayles loved the location so much that he shared his exuberant musings about Bohol and his Pinoy amigos in his blog. The director likewise emphasized that he made the film so that people would know what really happened when the Americans came to the Philippines. Apocalypse Now, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Starring Martin Sheen, Marlon Brando, Lawrence Fishburne, and Harrison Ford. Location: Baler, Aurora, Pagsanjan, and Iba, Zambales. This epic is probably one of the best war movies of all time. It was honored by the Cannes Film and received nominations from the Golden Globe and Academy Awards. Francis Ford Coppola and his family spent so much time in the Philippines. Martin Sheen also brought along his young son, future controversial star Charlie, on set. Charlie would later return to the Philippines to shoot another war blockbuster. Platoon, directed by Oliver Stone. Starring Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe, and Johnny Depp. Location: Pagsanjan and Cavite. Shooting experienced a little hiccup. People power was coming to a boil, but the crew managed to keep everything on schedule. To ease budget woes, the crew also borrowed Philippine military equipment as props. Platoon, with its gorgeous Philippine backdrop, went on to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, and the Golden Globe for Best Picture, among others. Born on the 4th of July, directed by Oliver Stone. Starring Tom Cruise, Kyra Sedgwick, and Willem Dafoe. Location: Ilocos. Stone initially wanted to shoot his film in Vietnam, but due to unsteady relations between the US and Vietnam, he settled for the Philippines. In case you're wondering where you've seen the beach featured in the movie, it's the same place the Temptation Island remake was shot. Black Mama, White Mama, directed by Eddie Romero. Starring Pam Grier and Jackie Brown. This R-rated film is, well, as blatant as any exploitive film can be. Apart from showcasing the local greenery, this film also introduced a few Filipino actors like Eddie Garcia, Vic Diaz, and Bruno Punzalan to the international showbiz scene. The Year of Living Dangerously, directed by Peter Weir. Starring Mel Gibson and Sigourney Weaver. After being denied permission to shoot in Indonesia, the crew moved production over to its neighboring country, the Philippines. Back to Baton, directed by Edward Dimitri. Starring John Wayne and Anthony Quinn. Although a handful of Hollywood films tackled the famed Battle of Baton, this was the only film to actually shoot in the Philippines. Born Legacy, directed by Tony Gilroy. Starring Jeremy Renner, Rachel Weisz, and Edward Norton. What country produces soldier-enhancing miracle pills? In an unassuming factory in the chaos of the Philippines, of course, guarded by none other than a pre-General Luna John Arcilla, there was an exciting motorcycle chase scene set in Manila. But it was the picturesque escape to Palawan that moviegoers might never forget. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updated content.